तो 12 है ना। जय राम राम माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा जय बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावञ्चारि यमुनातीरावञ्चारि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा गोपी जना वल्लभा राधा गोपी जना वल्लभा जय निताय पंडित पावन गौरा हरि निताय पंडित पावन गौरा हरि जय जय प्रभु 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 जय जय प्रभु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय और प्रभु की जय गौर प्रेमानंदे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं कौमुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपास्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्ताशक्तिकम्। आद्य स्थिरा चरणां Prabhu, we are reading from here 3:30 to 12.
250.
आद्य स्थिरा चरणां यो
आद्या स्थिराचराणां यो
वेदगर्भा सहर्षिभिः
वेदगर्भा सहर्षिभिः
योगेश्वरय कुमाराध्यय
योगेश्वरय कुमाराध्य
सिद्धयोगा प्रवर्तकय
सिद्धयोगा प्रवर्तते
वेददृष्ट्याभिमानेन
वेददृष्ट्याभिमानेन
निसङ्गेन कर्मणा
निसङ्गेनापि कर्म
कर्तृत्वात् सगुणं ब्रह्म
कर्तृत्वात् सगुणं
पुरुषर्षभम्
पुरुषः
सा संसृत्य पुनः काले
संस्कृत्या पुनः काले
कालेनेश्वरमूर्तिना
काले निश्चरमूर्तिना
जाता गुणा व्यतीतारे यथा पूर्वं प्रजायते
यथा पूर्वं प्रजायते
ऐश्वर्यं पारमेष्ठ्यं च
ऐश्वर्यं प्राणेषु च
तेऽपि धर्मा विनिर्मितम् निषेव्या पुनरायान्ति गुणा व्यतिकरे सति। कोई पढ़ना चाहेगा? चरणां यो वेदगर्भासहस्रिभिः योगेश्वरय कुमारार्यै
प्रवर्तिताः
सिद्धयोगा प्रवर्तिकै
भेददृष्ट्याभिमानान्
भेददृष्ट्याभिमानेन
निस्सङ्गोऽपि कर्मणां
निसङ्गेनापि कर्मणा
कृत्वा सगुणं ब्रह्मा
कर्तृत्वा च गुणं ब्रह्म
पुरुषर्षभं
पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभम्
असंसृत्य पुनः काले
सा संसृत्य पुनः काले
कालेश्वरमूर्तिनः
कालेनेश्वरमूर्तिना
तते गुणाव्यतिकरे
जाते गुणा व्यतिकरे
यदा पूर्वं प्रजायते
यथा पूर्वं प्रजायते
ऐश्वर्यं सायं
ऐश्वर्यं पारमेष्ठ्यं च
देवी धर्माविनिर्मितम्
तेऽपि धर्मा विनिर्मितम्
निषेव्या पुनः
निषेव्या पुनरायन्ति
करे सति
गुणागतिकरे सति आद्यः the creator Lord Brahma
the creator Lord
Thira Charana of the immobile and mobile manifestation. Yaha, he who, Veda Garbha, the repository of the Vedas, Saha, along with Rishipi, the sages, Yoga Ishvara, with great mystic yogis, Kumara Adyaye, the Kumaras and others, Siddhaye, with the perfectly living beings, Yoga Pravartakaye, the authors of the yoga system, Veda Drishtya, because of independent vision, Abhimanena, by misconception, Nisangena, non-fruited, Api, although, Karmana, by their activities, Kartritva, from the sense of being a doer, Saguna, possessing spiritual qualities, Brahma, Brahman, Purusham, the personality of Godhead, Purusha, Rishabham, the first Purusha incarnation, Saha, he, Samsritya, having attained, Punaha, again, Kale, at the time, Kalena, by the time, Ishvara Murtina, the manifestation of the Lord, Jati Guna Vyatikare, when the interaction of the modes arises, Yatha, as Purvam, previously, Prajayate, is born, Aishwarya, opulence, Parameshtyam, royal, Cha, and Te, the sages, Api, also, Dharma, by their pious activities, Vinirmitam, produced, Nishevya, having enjoyed, Punaha, again, Ayanti, they return, Gunavetikare Sati, when the interaction of the modes take place. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. My dear mother, this is Lord Kapila speaking to his mother with a lot of love and affection. My dear mother, someone may worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead with a special self-interest. But even demigods such as Lord Brahma, great sages such as Sanat Kumar, and great munis such as Marichi, have to come back to the material world again at the time of creation. So here Lord Kapila is emphasizing on the importance of worshipping the Lord without any self-interest, without any special self-interest. And Lord Kapila is saying that even were to speak about living entities, even the four Kumaras, Marichi, the great Munis, and Brahma, even they also have to come back to this material world when they worship Krishna with a special self-interest. When the interaction of the three modes of material nature begins, Brahma, who is the creator of this cosmic manifestation and who is full of Vedic knowledge, and the great sages who are the authors of the spiritual path and the yoga system come back under the influence of the time factor. They are liberated by their non-fruitive activities and attain the first incarnation of the Purusha, but at the time of creation, they come back in exactly the same forms and positions they previously had. Purport. His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. That Brahma becomes liberated is known to everyone, but he cannot liberate his devotees. Demigods like Brahma and Lord Shiva cannot give liberation to any living entity. As it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, only one who surrenders unto Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, can be liberated from the clutches of Maya. Brahma is called Adya Sthila Chalana. He is the original, first created. Adya means the original, first created living entity. And after his own birth, he creates the entire cosmic manifestation. He was fully instructed in the matter of creation by the Supreme Lord. Here he is called Vedagarbha, which means that he knows the complete purpose of the Vedas. He is always accompanied by great personalities as Marichi, Kashyapa, and the seven sages, as well as the great mystic yogis, the Kumaras, and many other spiritually advanced living entities. But he has his own interest, separate from the Lord's. This is called Veda Drishtya. It means that Brahma sometimes thinks that he is independent of the Supreme Lord, and he thinks of himself as one of the three equally independent incarnations. Brahma is interested in creation. Vishnu maintains and Rudra, Lord Shiva destroys. The three of them are understood to be incarnations of the Supreme Lord in charge of the three different material modes of nature. But none of them is independent of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The word Devadishya occurs because Brahma has a slight inclination to think that he is as independent as Rudra. Sometimes Brahma thinks that he is independent of the Supreme Lord, and worshipper also thinks that Brahma is independent. For this reason, after the destruction of this material world, when there is again creation by the interaction of the material modes of nature, Brahma comes back. Although Brahma reaches the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the first Purusha incarnation, Mahavishnu, who is full with the transcendent qualities, he cannot stay in the spiritual world. So idea is um, only the Lord Kapila can speak in this way because we cannot speak about Brahma. So because he is superior position to Brahma, he is telling even Brahma or Shiva because they're all under Lord Kapila. So even Brahma or Shiva, even they have to come back because so what happens when the creation is destroyed? They all enters into the body of Mahavishnu, and then from there, then they again come back to the creation. And interestingly, it also says that they, like Brahma, Marichi, they come back in their self same body. Prabhupada emphasizes those who take shelter of Brahma, they can go up to Satyalok. They can remain in Satyalok. Even if they worship Brahma, they still go along with Brahma at the time of annihilation. They will enter into the body of Mahavishnu. And when creation again begins, then they all will come out. Those who pray Brahma, they cannot attain liberation. Not even those who pray Shiva can attain liberation. Only Krishna can give liberation, and that's why one of his name is Mukunda. Then it is said one of the Brahma, he sometimes thinks, and how we have Brahma Sampradaya, very difficult to speak, but Brahma sometimes thinks that he is equal to Vishnu and Shiva. Sometimes. When we serve with like devotees who are superior to us, sometimes we feel like equal. So, because serving together, right? They're like, that's okay, equal only. So likewise, Brahma also serving with Shiva and Vishnu, he thinks is equal. And then he start acting independently. Why? No need to take guidance from equal. Right? Then he start, I'll make decision. And when he start acting independently, what happens? Then he again has to come back. There is very strong tendency to become independent, right? So why you want to become independent? What is the reason behind becoming independent? Uh-huh. We don't want to be controlled, first thing, right? Then why else we want to become independent? What happens when we become independent? What does independence means?
We feel we are
Uh, when we become independent, then we want to be dependent on three modes. And when we become dependent on the Guru and Krishna, then it's a path to liberation. But when we want to become independent of them, then the three modes says, then you depend on me. Correct, right?
So
Like
that means we have to be dependent on someone.
we have to, yeah, like
Yeah,
Prabhupada
become
says,
support.
we are either serving Guru or Krishna or we are serving Maya. Constitutional position is service only. It's just whom we want to serve. And based on that, the result will be there. But one reason we don't want to become independent because it's tough to become dependent. And sometimes there is some distress, some difficulty, some pain. Can we think of some example from Shastra who acted dependently and were had to go through a lot of pain and suffering because they were told to follow, which they didn't want to follow, but they went through a lot of pain and suffering.
Many,
Many. Can you think of some example? Shastrik.
all Pandava.
Pandavas,
Yeah.
very nice. Then even Hriday Pandit.
Uh,
And when Guru asked him who wants to give their son, but he followed. And then he actually left the body also, but he still acted dependent on Guru. Any other example? Dashrath Maharaj is obviously there. Any other example? He was asked to give Nitaya.
Okay.
So he dependent. He acted dependently, not independent. Like we were discussing, why it's so difficult to like we cannot be independent. We become independent of Guru and Krishna, then we become dependent on three modes.
Actually, let us elaborate because somebody might not know past.
Oh, so Hadai Pandit, he had a son whose name was Nityananda Prabhu. A very beautiful, very nice son. So when he was 12, one Brahmana came and he said, I'm going for pilgrimage. I need an assistant. Can I take your son as assistant? So it was like heart attack for Hriday Pandit. He said, I will come with you. You need assistance, I'll be your assistant. He said, no, I need Nitai. I like him. So he had to part. He asked his wife Padmavati. Padmavati said, whatever you decide. Although she was in deep pain, but she also had that self-control. That she also said whatever. Otherwise, which mother will say whatever you decide? Means whatever you decide means you allow the result to be not in your favor. And so, so what she said, whatever you decide. Today, the mother will say, what are you talking? Just say no, say this, say that. But who says that? So, but she agreed to be dependent. And the husband agreed to follow Guru, and it was very painful. Another example is Shabari. When Matangarishi wanted to leave, he told Shabari, you stay here. So it was very painful for Shabari. She didn't want to stay. Another example is Hanuman. Lord Ram said, you stay here. So he started crying. He said, my Lord, I want to come with you. And he said, no, you stay here as a proof. So if you were there, Arey, what proof? Chodo, people will know by your mercy, all the proof will be given. But Hanuman is still here waiting. So they are all acting dependently on Guru and Krishna. Any other example?
Dhruv Maharaj,
Dhruv Maharaj,
6 months of
uh,
Narad Muni told him to do
6 months. So he followed the instruction. Yes. Then
Prahlad.
Priyavrat Maharaj, Maharaj Priyavrat, he didn't want to leave his brahmachari ashram.
Yes.
Correct, right? Anybody, like many times we pray, my Lord, कुछ भी ले लो ये जीवन मत लो. And for what a kind, what surrender it requires actually for Maharaj Priyavrat, who is doing that tapasya. उसके बाद he became absorbed in those activities because nature of activities is king means passion activities. Na. He was a sadhu living in a forest. He got engaged, but then Krishna protected him because he acted on out of dependence on Brahma's and Narad Muni's will. But then there are some. Can you think of some example who acted independently, who didn't want to take instruction? Yeah, apart from people in the room and the speaker. Mahapatita Das. Anything else we can think? Anything else we can think of?
Ramachandra.
Ramchandra.
Puri.
Yeah, you should add Puri before Prabhu. Don't take a pause. Otherwise, give.
First, they had Ramachandra. First, yeah.
Yeah. Ramchandra Puri, he acted against Guru's order. So what happened to him? Corrected. Then Duryodhan acted against Guru's order. Dhritarashtra got so many good counsel from Vidur. What did he do? He never listened to Vidur or Bhishma. He supported um, his son, who was also, and so what was the result? There was destruction. So naturally, Duryodhan wanted to be independent, and he wanted to get what he want. But what did he get? He get the death. And what he was working under mode of passion and ignorance. That's why he wanted to kill and he wanted to gain over. Gain means wealth, profit, what will I get? So when we act out, why we don't want to act, another reason we don't want to act independent, we want to act independently, maybe because we are attached to what we want to do. And then we have fear. If I ask, then probably the answer may be no. So rather let me not ask. Correct. It. Rather let me do because there is a fear of losing. So attachment also makes us kind of do what we want to do. But then here Kapila is telling even Brahma and Marichi and they also for the four Kumaras. Wow, four Kumaras has a, yeah, his name, their name is also there. Lord Kapila.
They are Mahajans, right? Still their name is
Lord Kapila can say anything. We cannot say. But it says they go, but they come back. And the word uses Bhed, Bhed Dishtya. So Bhed Dishtya means separate vision, separate desire. And that's why Srila Prabhupada says, how do we know the plan of Krishna? We know the plan of Krishna through plans of devotees. Correct, right? But when we become attached to our plans, then we don't want to ask devotees, we want to consult. Then we may fulfill our desires, but the result will not be good. But rather, when we always do anything under guidance of Guru and Krishna, with the blessings of Guru and Krishna. Madhuro, one time she was saying that we cannot do anything without by ourselves. If you want any positive engagement, positive service, or positive results, the opportunity to serve, it comes with the blessings of Guru and Krishna. So that's why we always go through the blessings. Then everything will be all right. Without blessings, there are many examples who became attached or who wanted to do what they wanted to do. They became attached to how they want to serve Krishna in a particular way. And actually, there may be apparent success, but it's not. Don't go by apparent success also. Like, the Ritviks are there. So they rejected their own spiritual master. They went against their own guru, but success is there. But is Krishna pleased? Correct, right? Because it's against the blessings of Guru and Krishna. So one has to be very careful. Okay. So last paragraph. The specific significance of his coming back may be noted. Brahma and the great rishis and the great master of yoga Shiva are not ordinary living entities. They're very powerful and have all the perfections of mystic yoga, but still they have an inclination to try to become one with the Supreme. And Prabhupada can say or Kapila Bhari can say, but still they have an inclination to try to become one with the Supreme, and therefore they have to come back. So one with the Supreme means, and one with the Supreme in our language is like,
Margin.
yeah, for us it may be enjoyer, right? Trying to become enjoyers. Just separate, like separatist mentality, bhakti separatist mentality, trying to become enjoyer. Because Supreme is the only Purusha. Na? So when we want to become Purusha, then what is the result of when we want to become Purusha? The result of when you want to become Purusha is to become envious of other Purushas, correct? I become because I want to become Purusha. So we are all but the Jeev, bound by this, trying to become Purushas. And therefore they have to come back. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is accepted that as long as one thinks that he is equal with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is not completely purified or knowledgeable. In spite of going up to the first Purusha avatar, Mahavishnu, after the dissolution of this material creation, such personalities again fall down and come back to the material creation. It is a great fall down on the part of the impersonalist to think that the Supreme Lord appears within a material body, and that one should therefore not meditate upon the form of the Supreme, but should meditate instead on the formless. For this particular mistake, even the great mystic yogis or great stalwart transcendentalists also come back again when there is creation. All living entities other than the impersonalists and monists can directly take to devotional service in full Krishna consciousness and become liberated by developing transcendental loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such devotional service develops in the degree of thinking of the Supreme Lord as Master, as friend, as son, and at last as lover. These distinctions in transcendental variegatedness must always be present. Okay, any comments?
So that means attachment only comes because we are acting independent. If we act dependent on Guru and Krishna, whatever we do, attached will not be attached to.
Well,
result.
it's vice versa. When we become attached, then we want to act independently.
So, but why will we become attached in the first place? If we are,
I become attached.
if we are dependent on Guru and Krishna, then there is no reason to become attached. Right?
If we are dependent on Guru and Krishna, then there is no reason to become attached.
Yeah,
I mean, attachment. So, attachment will come because
some desire is there.
yeah, there is a desire to become the enjoyer. Then wherever I have the opportunity to become the enjoyer, then I'll become to those conceptions because this way I can enjoy it. And now I want to become independent because what if they interfere in my attachment? So
Yeah.
let me try to become independent. But then the result may not be very good. And that's why it's more of a training, our devotional service. One Maharaj, when sannyasi was mentioning root cause of existence is independence or enjoyment, enjoyership. Okay, other comments. It's mode of passion, Prabhuji. Mode of passion means goodness means service, right? Mode of passion means that, yeah, I mean results not for self pleasure of Krishna. Results भक्ति करेंगे भक्ति में
Mixed
अपने लिए है ना? So it's not, it's fruitive. So it brings us back.
So as it said here in the first paragraph that if they are attached, wanted to be independent.
So life story.
And they are all Mahajans only. Brahma, Shiva, Sanat Kumara.
Well, let's take the principle. Let's not go to them because they are great personalities for us. Yes, Prabhuji.
You said Brahma should not equate himself with the Lord and Shiva, Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva. But
Prabhupada said, I repeat it. Yes.
So there is a pastime in fourth canto beginning, first chapter, second chapter. It says Atri Munimura, right? Atri and Ansuya, the daughter of Devadati. She, like, and he was the son-in-law of Devadati.
Mhm.
So he did secretly tapasya for Supreme Lord Kaptiya and give them the son.
Mhm.
And both three of them, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, are simultaneously active. And Arjuna says, no, I have prayed for one Lord, the three Lords appear. What is this?
Mhm.
I just wanted a son from whoever the Supreme Lord have got. So they're all equal, so they give three sons. So how can we know that? How can we understand that?
Like they're all equal?
They say, like, he says, I prayed for the Supreme Person, I prayed the Supreme Lord, God Himself, and all of you three appeared. I don't know whom of you are actually the Supreme Lord. So this is my desire. Okay, about that. So the three of them give three sons too. Like now Vishnu gives Brahma gives Soma, and Shiva gives Durvasa Muni, and
Correct.
and Vishnu gives Dattatreya.
Mhm.
So these three sons are given to three men. So in the last time they say like we are all equal.
I mean, one thing I was thinking, one thing I remember is Guru Maharaj, he did in Hyderabad, he did a journey home, a book launch. So they asked one brahmachari who was there with Maharaj that, can we know you? Something like that. Matlab, can you introduce yourself? So Maharaj bole ki, oh, he is my friend. So Maharaj said that, so Maharaj bole ki, oh, he is my friend. So Maharaj doesn't want to say that he is my disciple. So Maharaj said he is my friend. I mean, there was a book launch of Bhagavad Maharaj. So the reporter asked one brahmachari who was with Maharaj to introduce himself. So Maharaj, I mean, he would have said that I am the disciple of natural, the devotee will say that. So Maharaj interfered. Maharaj says, so he is my friend. And Maharaj put his hand around him. He's my dear friend. So then I feel like there is a loving relationship between the Lord and his devotees. And because we don't, it's like all the pastimes are succinct, right? So we don't see much interaction between Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, what is going on. We just hear they desired and they gave a son, but we don't know what's going on. So I feel like a loving relationship. And Lord Shiva also says that just like devotees worship Vishnu, devotees worship me also. But then he says to Durvasa that I am also covered by Vishnu Maya. Like he says, Lord Shiva says. So sometimes he says, when it comes to refuting Vishnu's weapon, he says, I am covered. I am not free. You have to go to Vishnu only. But sometimes they feel, that's what Prabhupada is saying, they feel that they are equal because they all three work together for this universe. But then we see Brahma prayed and Vishnu appeared and Vishnu shook hand and Vishnu gave him initiation. So Brahma got enlightened, Brahma prayed. So we have, but think like this. Okay.
One question to Aditya.
Yes.
So sometimes our authority gives us independence to do some service on our own intelligence.
Yeah.
That can also
So Prabhu's question is, sometime I'm speaking so that they can also hear. Sometime our authority give us service on our own, use our own intelligence for the success of the service. Okay.
So how in that I know that we have to feel that we are working for authority using our independence. But naturally, many times it will happen that we will think that, oh, this is my service, and we will become independent, and authority might go out of picture. Then how to deal with that?
Depends upon the results are for whose pleasure.
Yeah.
Many times what happens, we use our intelligence, and when the result comes, then you want to become the enjoyer of the results.
Yeah.
वहां पे फंसते हैं हम लोग।
Yes.
तो क्या है ना, भोग की इच्छा तो है, जहां मौका मिलेगा हम पकड़ेंगे उसको, क्योंकि भोग की इच्छा है। सबसे रूट रूट कॉज वही है ना। और उसके बाद क्या है कि ट्रेनिंग है ना, सो वी सबसाइड अवर सेल्स। नो नो नो, सो वी आर ट्रेनिंग अवर सेल्फ, बिकॉज थिंग इज मोड ऑफ पैशन विल, mode will come up again and again anyways, and then we either take a humble position or we lament for our own conscience and criticize ourselves. Yeah, why this thought is coming, why this, and then we train ourselves.
So how long it will take?
How long? I'm still in the same journey. It's long.
Because most of the time I'm speaking out myself that yeah, I get the thought, yeah, I because I did it happened, I did it happened. But externally it means no, 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 Prabhu, because but internally I did it happen. That is very, very troublesome thoughts, very like
Mm. Well, Krishna has his own way to train us, I feel. When Krishna sees that our consciousness is um, not very conducive, when Krishna sees that, then Krishna will bring some failures and Krishna will humble us. And then when we become humble, then again, if we go up, then Krishna will bring us down. And then when we become depressed, then Krishna will uplift and encourage us. And when we think this is amazing, my life is amazing, then Krishna will again drop us down. When we become depressed, then Krishna will again encourage us. It will continue till we remain neutral and see the hand of Krishna. Till that time, we keep on going through these awesome missions.
so we cannot say it can be many lifetimes also.
Yeah. And Krishna says, after many, many lifetimes, one attains me. So,
Yeah.
yes, sir. You can ask questions and you can answer in the mic.
Question. The root cause of all dissatisfaction or anything that externally happening is due to the mode of passion, due to the mode of passion ignorance is cultivated internally. So then it's like I always was thinking just now that when I'm not finding deep relishment in this on the spiritual platform, then I want relishment in the material platform. And anyone that says anything, then I immediately become very upset or angry. And I not sure externally. So then the question is that am I displeasing Krishna? That's why Krishna is not giving his absorption. Krishna is not allowing me to derive, nourishment from devotional activities. And if it, and I'm sure I'm displeasing Krishna for sure. So what is the way to slowly come to that platform?
You want Mike to answer?
No, yeah, you're on that platform. You're on that platform.
हाँ, हम लोग तो आपका सवाल क्या है? थोड़ा संक्षेप में बताइए। मतलब मैं सुना, थोड़ा और क्लैरिटी के लिए।
Yeah, how to please Krishna in such a way that, like just now you were mentioning that you just see Krishna's hand and you remain neutral. And one thing is cultivating the neutrality externally, but that's okay. But then real neutrality comes when you're on the like on the trying at least Vijnanamaya to like in that. So then that way, you can generally be detached.
Bhagajan who has an answer. His sparkling eyes is showing that he has an answer.
I'm getting very wrong.
But then
Repeat the question.
question is, we are discussing about neutrality with the results, but then it's difficult to maintain that, correct? And ups and downs will come. So when down comes, how do we see that?
When up come, how to we see both?
No, it's not about how to see, bro. My question is not about the external.
How to
My question is about cultivating the internal.
Then, matlab, success comes, no? Somehow or other we associated with to devotees.
No, not about success.
Or
I'm talking about
you mean neutral?
no. I'm saying like for example, like yeah, not getting taste in bhakti enough that the consciousness goes external.
Mhm.
So like especially when some agitation comes, like someone says something, the mind become agitated means that there's internally nothing.
Krishna says in Uddhav Gita, Prabhuji, it is very, very difficult for a mind, for one's mind to remain neutral, especially when someone is criticized. Krishna says, like, wow, it is very, very difficult for mind to remain neutral, especially when one is criticized. And after saying this, he gives an example of Avanti Brahman. So, how to develop absorption is a final question. What do you have? Not qualified rounds. Every day chanting 16 rounds is a struggle. And it's like how to. Huh? 16 itself difficult, Prabhuji. So, how to somehow I get done in 16 rounds. Absorption is like I I just gave it up that I cannot. Let me just try to serve now. Sadhana is not. See, those people, like all of you, Achugopal Prabhu, Rasigopal Prabhu, who can do sadhana, so they're on a higher platform. Here, we cannot do any sadhana. So let me run here and there in the car or somewhere. So let us at least try to be engaged somehow or other. But Prabhuji, yeah, we should ask somebody who has absorption that they will tell you how to attain absorption. I lost everything. How can I answer that question? Rohit and Prabhu will answer
No, I don't know.
about absorption.
I'm very fallen. I'm like when this tear up and I go down.
प्रभु जी कोशिश करते हैं हमारे हाथ में क्या है ना बैठना है we have to sit and you have to try it or walk whatever and you have to try to absorb that's all in our hand Prabhu ji as long as we are not multiplexing things and we are trying to sincerely absorb in chanting offenses are happening day and night while sleep also we commit offense while awake also we commit offense.
Radhagovind Maharaj said one thing that uh, he was saying that how to be observed in bhajan is like repeatedly observe the deity and repeatedly think of the deity, the shringar, how Lord looks, how his face looks, how his flower, his Vajantimala, his earrings, his flute, how he's dressing, and how he's smiling. He said that the best part of the Lord is smile.
Mhm.
So try to observe the details and try to observe his smile, and if possible try to voluntarily think of his smile while chanting. He said you will get absorption very soon.
So, Prabhu ji,
No, I want to
quoting Radhagovind Maharaj, that think of Krishna's smile, then you get absorption.
He said that Narad Muni gave this tip to Dhruv Maharaj. That
Think of Krishna's smile.
yeah.
Very nice. Another thing, Mahaprabhu instruction is there, becoming more humble than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree.
Yeah, this is a real thing, bro. This is a real thing. Now, this is my real question. It's good you reminded me. Actually, one devotee disciple asked Bhagavan Maharaj, that Srila Bhagavan Maharaj, that Maharaj, I've been chanting Hare Krishna for so many years now, and I still did not get prema. Of course, you may say, wow, that's too high ambition, but still. So he said, because it says in second Charitamrita, if you chant, you'll get love of God. So why am I not getting love of God? In Maharaj said, Trinadapi Sunichena is the condition. So then my question is, in Trinadapi Sunichena, there are four things: becoming more tolerant than a tree, becoming more humble than a blade of grass, and giving respect to others and not expecting respect in return. So then it's like impossible. Like I just think about it, it's like completely, because being more tolerant than a tree, like that's too difficult. Like with cold water, I can't tolerate it. And then becoming more humble than a blade of grass.
Yeah, Mahaprabhu explains becoming more tolerant than a tree. Mahaprabhu says if somebody criticizes, do not say anything. Mahaprabhu says. And Mahaprabhu says, do not demand anything. Two things he says. Many times, we are always in the mood of demanding what I want, what I want, what I want. So do not demand. If it doesn't come, tolerate. So that's two things Mahaprabhu says to become more tolerant and tree.
But then not expecting respect is very difficult.
Not expecting respect is very difficult. Yeah. Yeah.
What is your tip in that regard? Please, how
Well, no, my people who respect us, they dig graveyard for us tomorrow, right? But that's fact. So respect in this world is very cheap actually. Today they are respecting, tomorrow they will criticize you. And if somebody is criticizing somebody today, tomorrow same person will criticize us. Still that desire is there, but then if somebody says we can see that. Um, And then when any success comes, we try to see the Krishna's mercy. And then we know if success comes, then we know tomorrow you're right. Correct, right. So when we think I'm successful, then failure is coming. So if we are afraid to fail, then don't think of success. Success comes. Failure is waiting anyways. What's the big deal? And if failure comes, then we feel like we are grateful for failure also, that Krishna, thank you for putting me in this situation. I deserve to be just crushed.
Yeah.
Thank you for still allowing me to serve and not becoming depressed in failure also. Why? Then we just focus on our service. Sometimes failure comes, it's okay. Sometimes success comes, Krishna's mercy. We keep going on, and Krishna actually want to train us. Na? Let us become neutral in both the situations. And another thing that Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says in Madhurya Kadambini, all these four things we will be able to apply at Nishtha, he says. So this is something that I mean, even if we try to cultivate, it won't come by our effort. It's something that is naturally given to us with the process only. Because with process, anathas will go away. Na? It's gradual. I mean, it's not tomorrow, like Shyamanand Prabhu says. So tomorrow I will attend Anatha Nivriti, and day after tomorrow Nishtha, and then Ruchi, and then next week I will attend Prema. It takes decades for each stage to go. And then once another Nivriti goes, naturally all these things will come. Then you don't want respect, then you are tolerant, then you feel very low of yourself. How should we try to get Krishna?
We just like
Bhajan only will give you na. Mahaprabhu, what did he say? Cheto Darpana Marchan. Correct. That is Nishtha. Another thing, Bhagavatam, Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki. So Bhagavatam says Bhagavatam. And Bhagavatam says Bhagavatam. That's what Bhagavatam says. Mahat Seva, it says. And by hearing, all the contaminations removed. Basically, sadhana.
but it should be sincere, right? If we do it sincerely, then what will happen?
Insincere sadhana, तो भगवान ठोकर मारेंगे आपको.
तो ठोकर मार के तो करेंगे, but
yeah, I mean, anybody not sincere, because Krishna is so merciful, not sincere, Krishna will kick them.
will
Kick.
So, but by keeping will he make us to progress or we will still remain insincere?
No, Krishna will take in such a way that Krishna will give you realization, I have to become sincere. The thing is, anybody who is practicing, even insincerely, Krishna will bring them on the right path, Prabhuji.
So being in this path, even being insincere, but staying in this path will make you one day sincere and will make
Definitely,
you.
Prabhuji.
Just we have to hold this process somehow, whether sincere or insincere.
If somebody asks, are you sincere? Definitely we're not
I
sincere.
am not sure for sure that.
Why? Because we water the weeds a lot. Why we want, what do we want by hearing and chanting? We want to glorify ourselves. We want love. We want, correct or not? We want pratishtha, puja or adoration. Right?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes. Exclusive.
Yes.
Exclusive. Yes.
And that's what we want, right? So we practice bhakti and these desires are there. And when these desires, it's like they come in the forefront of the mind and bhakti goes back and this is what is in the mind while practicing. Especially when we are practicing alone, it's easier. When you're practicing others, especially when leadership position, these desires will pop up again and again. That's why it's very dangerous to be in leadership position. When you have powers, leadership position without sufficient purity, very dangerous. Very good example is Shringi. Correct. Power without maturity. So what happened? So likewise, we get power, misuse power, then Krishna comes. Krishna says, who is more powerful, me or you? So now let's deal with our powers. Then what is our power front of Krishna's power? So Krishna is always to humble us no matter who we are. But that itself, trying to be sincere, even though weeds and bhakti lata look similar, that itself will give us the intelligence at some point of time to distinguish. That itself will help us start working the bhakti. That itself will remove the anartha. That itself will make us humble. That itself will give us रुचि आसक्ति एंड भाव एंड प्रेम तो सब कुछ आई मीन तभी रूपा गोस्वामी एक लाइन में सब कुछ बोल दी क्या बोले धैर्य रखो धैर्य रखो पेशेंस रखो tomorrow we want everything pure and heart pure and no anartha and no होते नहीं वो
So
patience and by see whatever qualities we did had few years back now some of them we are developing to some degrees correct what was theory for us now there is some more practicality and the work is in progress so afterwards everything is given to us gradually there is no shortcut everything will come we just have to like keep hold on to it everything is there I mean Prabhu says try your best leave the rest try your best okay. Spoke anything wrong please forgive me as a humble servant Vanchakalpatarupisya Kripasindhubheva cha Patitam Pavanebhyo Vaishnava Ananda Koti Vaishnavendra ki jai Srila Prabhupada Ananda Koti Vaishnava
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.